What's up, guys? We're here in Heroes Tactics, and I'm going to take you through some quick Sky Arena tips here because a lot of people have tons of trouble in the Sky Arena. One of the big things is that in the Sky Arena, you can actually retry over and over again with no penalty whatsoever. So you want to spend a lot of time in here trying out different strategies and different formations, things like that, because you have no penalty whatsoever for clicking down right above the auto button and click retry. You can retry right away. Even if you finish the stage, you can actually retry and get a better, better kind of score on the Sky Arena. So do a lot of retries. That is the number one tip, is always try different things and see how it works out. You see right there, we waited with our Pegasus. We probably should have actually gone through and attacked, because now he's blocked off either our Pegasus or our Centar. We can only attack with one of them now. We also want to build up our specials. That's the next tip, is that you want to focus on, once you're down to one unit here, building up your special powers for the next battle and preparing for the next battle. So let's go ahead and use our Centar to attack so we can build up his special here. Nice, he missed the counterattack there. And if you go ahead and actually retry things and do the exact same steps over, they will always miss in that same spot. But you have to do everything exactly the same. You'll notice this a lot if you retry right in the beginning, because you're going to retry the first couple steps of the stage over and over again. You'll see in the next battle here, we'll show you how we try different starting like setups. So we have Gable with a full special, we have Centar with a full special, and we have Helena with the full special. If we want, we can go ahead and actually retry. It tells you right here, if you're not satisfied with the outcome, go retry the battle and start the stage over. We're okay with this battle. We can watch a replay on it. We can see the stats. But that's a decent, battle results. We didn't lose anyone at all. We are now going to go push to the next battle. We have 3 of our 5 units having full special. As we jump in here, you can see we scout out the troops. We always want to wait on the first turn so then we can double down our attacks. And we want to make sure that the attacking, the opponent here can't really attack us on his first turn. So we're going to get out of the range of Gable. We're going to get out of the range of Pegasus. And I think this is decent right here. So we're just going to go ahead and see what happens. And then based on this, we're going to wait. And then we might retry and start over here and go to the next stage. You do want to have Helena. Helena is extremely powerful, probably the best hero in the game for Sky Arena, because she has that first turn healing ability. She's a ranged DPS that can't be blocked. She does a good amount of damage. So Helena is a must-have. This is a really strong formation of our squad. We have a Centar who can stun first turn. We have Gable, who's a flying troop that in Sky Arena the stages are always the same. You're going to see these same setups, and there's a lot of swords and barricades in these Sky Arena matches that cause you to need flying aerial troops. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get much mobility. Once again, we are going to wait every turn because he has an opponent, Helena, and if we attack anything right now, Helena will actually just heal it up. Right now we're going to have everyone be able to attack, and Helena won't be able to heal because she's already gone on the opponent's turn there. And now, at this point, we want to try and focus and kill down as many units as we possibly can, and we want to make it so our Pegasus can kill a unit, because he would then gain a buff to our entire squad. Our entire team would gain an attack buff if we kill a unit. We're going to use the special here and attempt to take out the strong 3-star Zia over there, and we did. So thankfully we took out the 3-star Zia. We can actually go ahead and stun this Pegasus, so we won't take any more damage on the counterattack in case he lives. So he died, and now we're going to go and use our basic attack on our Centar up here, because our basic attack stuns as well. So we don't need to use the special, and we have our Pegasus coming up here, and we're going to be able to take that, and you see the sword icon pops up. Everyone now got an attack buff, which means we are stronger, and now we can go ahead and move up. At this point, sadly, our Gable is frozen, and he cannot really move as efficiently as he used to, so which means they're going to get a couple hits on our Gable, and we are in range DPS area, so they're going to do full damage to our Gable. And here we want to take out the Helena, because Helena will do a lot more damage than Striker. Once you get right up to the ranged DPS troops, you're going to be able to cut their damage in half. They're only going to use melee attacks. You can see Helene did 3,000 points of damage. The Striker only did, I believe it was like 2,000 points of damage with his attack. So we're going to go ahead and zap Helene right there. And we're going to attempt to get our Gable up there as close as possible without dying here. We have to put him right next to the Striker, but we don't want to block the Pegasus because we do want to kill the Helene. So we're going to go right there. We killed Helene, perfect. And now here's just fingers crossed that the Striker won't be able to finish off our Gable. He did not, so we got extremely lucky there. We have enough HP. And at this point, we can just defend and wait. Striker has his full power, but once someone is right next to him, they can't actually use their special ability. So we're going to wait because we want to try and get Helene's power here to Holy Strike, which will heal up our Gable and make him be able to survive the next attack from Striker. That's also going to heal up the Pegasus as well. So we're building up our life for our next battle. We're trying to keep Gable alive as much as possible. We're going to go defend, and sadly, that Holy Strike was just too strong, and there's no way that we could actually succeed without missing our counterattack. And most likely, Gable's not going to miss his counterattack, but we're going to go ahead and just see how this works. Maybe he will. Fingers crossed Gable miss. No, Gable does not miss. So we don't want that to happen. We're going to go ahead and retry this stage. And we know what we have to do here. We have to kill Striker right there before. And we can do the exact same setups here. We can go wait. We can try different things as well. So maybe that we don't think that that's the best way to do this. But you'll notice every starting move here will be exactly the same. Gable will get frozen in the beginning. The enemy Gable will go in the exact same location. The Pegasus will go to the exact same location. They're going to attack the same people over and over again. It's the exact same setup. Nothing will change unless we specifically change different locations of units or move differently. So we can memorize exactly what's going to happen. We can do the exact same thing, and all the stats and all the damage will come out exactly the same. You can see Gable gets frozen there just like before. If we want, we can go ahead and we can throw and kill Zia right away because we knew that one-shot Zia, so we don't have to wait. The only reason we wait throughout is because Helene will heal someone that has taken damage. Currently, there's no one on the Helene enemy team that has taken any damage, so her heal does not affect. And at this point, go ahead and do our exact same setup. We'll dive attack with Gable. We'll come up here and smash. And this one we can try something a little bit different. We can actually use our Pegasus and get all the way over here. And so we tweaked it just a little bit, and now Striker cannot ranged attack us. Our Centar could finish off Gable right here. We're not going to take as much damage this time with this setup. So we tweaked it just a little bit because we learned from our prior attack. We're going to go ahead and kill Helene before she's able to get her attack off there. So that worked out a lot better. So learn from your mistakes. Attempt to do better each time. Even if you don't, you can just simply retry over and over again. So these are the 5 units that I highly recommend that you get for Sky Arena. These guys are really, really powerful because Gable is a free unit and he gives a buff for 2 turns for attack power in the beginning. Pegasus will give a guaranteed critical on your first turn. That is huge. And then Centar will guarantee stun on the first turn once you level up his ability there. P, once you get him to a purple status, he's got regeneration and he's a very strong ranged DPS. And then Helene is a great, great healer, probably the best unit in the game for Sky Arena. So as you see, we've set up our guys like we did before. We're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. We're going to Holy Strike to finish off Striker there, and that's going to give us a lot of healing ability We're going to be almost full health for our next battle. And we've set up our squad nicely for the next fight. So we have a full energy on P, we have a full energy on Centar, or almost full energy on P, almost full energy on Pegasus, but everyone is kind of full HP right there. So we're going into the next battle way ahead of our opponents. And in those silver chests, you can actually get full heroes. So you'll get hero stones eventually, occasionally, but you can also get the full hero in there as well. So very, very rarely that happens. Once again here, we're going to try and not take damage from the Gable right there, so we're going to move our guy out of that spot. Looks like no other spot is fine, and we can go ahead and see what happens on the first turn of this match, and then go ahead and change our strategy accordingly. At this setup, you'll notice there's one big choke point, so if we can set it up where their first troop, which is Gable, goes right into the middle, we can find out what troop Gable is targeting. So Gable is going after either Centar or our Gable. So if we move them up into the center, we can probably block that center spot, and then we can make their Pegasus not actually move. So let's move Gable. We can put him right there, and that would probably block the whole center stop. So let's see if this works out, or if he's going after the Centar. Oops. And we hit auto, so we'll just go ahead and quick and retry that. So again, mistakes are not a problem whatsoever in Sky Arena. You can also recruit a friendly hero from your guild in Sky Arena, and you really, really want to recommend, recruit Aqua. Aqua is a great unit. It's a ranged healer, so it's going after Centar. So let's retry this once again, and let's swap these, and we'll put Centar up there, and that should lure Gable up into the center, I want to say. So you can recruit a hero, and Aqua is a really strong hero. You definitely want to recruit Aqua if possible. Nope. Didn't work, so let's go ahead and show you this recruiting thing. Up here, you can select a hero from your guild. You also can recruit, some of these high pay-to-win heroes, like the Pegasus Knight right there. Very strong hero, but just because they're a pay-to-win hero doesn't mean they're insta-win. So Aqua right here, very, very, very strong hero. Healing, range DPS, also has a stun kind of ability. The first ice throw is a stun. So autocast during heroes 1, 4, 7. Regular attacks unleash a frozen arrow, freezing the target for 1 round. That essentially is a stun. They can't move, they can't do anything whatsoever. So that is like a stun ability. Then his main power is not very strong, but you take it for the stun, you take it for the heal. He heals or she heals on round 2, 5, 8. Very, very strong. Also gives resistance to ice. And then this ability is not really beneficial. It is, only used for elementals. But yeah, 2 abilities here are insanely powerful. The first turn stun is great, and then the healing ability, which will keep your units alive. You really want to keep your units alive and full health for the next battle. You can only recruit 1 hero per Sky Arena, so make your choice wisely. You do want to recruit, obviously, the highest star and the highest color. So purple heroes, we want to recruit there. They are very, very powerful, and we want to go after 3 stars or potentially 4 stars. But Aqua, even at 2-star, is a really, really powerful heal. You'll notice my entire squad. We have a 4-star Central, we have a 3-star P, we have a 3-star Striker, we have a 3-star Pegasus, we have a 3-star Gable, and then we have a 2-star Helena. Helena is actually the MVP of Sky Arena. Even at 2-star, Helena is the best unit there because she heals and she keeps your guys alive. So don't underestimate 2-star healers, or even 1-star healers. Helena and the Water Spirit there are really, really powerful in Sky Arena. Aqua. So let's try and change this up. Let's put it like that. So we're just trying different setups to see if we can get Gable to go in the center. And if we do, you'll notice that it will not only block the Pegasus, but it will also block the giant fire elemental there. And sadly we cannot. So let's go and try this. Let's put P up there. That's a big win if we can block that centerpiece. And there we go. So we've blocked the centerpiece. Although that's a bad setup, a bad formation for us, because our Pegasus is actually locked down. But you'll notice this is what we tried to do, is we tried to get Gable there. So now his units have to actually defend and wait, because the computer doesn't use the wait command. So they all defend over there. So we've defended his Pegasus, we defended his Pyro, which will give us a lot more time to deal with each unit individually. So let's go ahead and set this up where it's like that, because we want our Pegasus to actually be able to use, to move the first turn. And sadly, he is not going, so he's going to be targeting P. So let's go like that. So again, you're just trying different combinations, trying to get it exactly where you want it. It's almost like cheating in a sense, because you could just do over hundreds of times until you find the perfect combination. The amount of time that you spend here can be great. I can spend sometimes an hour in Sky Arena because I'm trying to get all 10 chests, and spending that 1 hour of time of doing formations and setups and tactics will actually get you all 10 chests, even if you are under leveled compared to your opponents. If you play really smart, you could beat every stage in the Sky Arena, especially if you have units like this. Units, like I said, like Centar, Gable, P, Helena. Use them smart. Use their stuns wisely. Stuns are very, very important. Aqua is incredibly powerful in Sky Arena. Tristan is also very powerful because it has a stun, a ranged stun as well. So those units are extremely powerful. So once again, we're going to go ahead and wait everyone here so we can cycle through and get their Helena to use up her attack, which will make her waste her healing ability. And then we will move forward. So now we know our current setup. This is how we want to start the match. And we just go from here. So it took us, maybe 5 minutes to figure out this correct formation. And now we're going to go ahead and start attacking. Let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. And we're doing our ranged troops over there because we know our Centar will be able to either one-shot or almost kill Gable there, and stuns him, so he takes no damage from the counterattack. We're going to use Gable, move up there. And at this point, we can go ahead and finish off their striker. Go ahead and use our charge ability. And sadly, Centar can't get up there in time. At this point, we can do a full damage on the Pyro there, almost taking him out. And we can finish him off with our Helena. We have a stun on Gable once again. So let's go ahead and stun their Helena. We're going to stay in the same position. And then we're going to go ahead and stun both of these units. But we're going to wait until the first stun wears off of Helena. So Helena's stun's going to wear off right about now. So her stun wears off. We can go ahead and use Holy Strike to heal up our guys. So almost full health there. And now we can go ahead and stun both of them with our Centar and his special power here, because they're perfectly lined up. And at this point, we can now just fully build up our specials of whoever we really want. Pegasus. is full special already, so we don't want to attack with Pegasus. Let's go ahead and attack with Gable over here. Building his special up. We're going to defend with our Pegasus. We can go ahead and have our Centar finish off their guy. And we can use P to finish off Helena there. Actually, see, we made a mistake as well. So if we would have waited with P, we could have used Helena to heal. Helena at turn 4 gets a heal. So we're going to go ahead and retry that and do exactly what we did, but make sure that we don't mess up that heal at the end there. And as you can see, just thinking things through, we'll have a full squad of full HP and a lot of powers ready to go for the next match here in Sky Arena. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any other tips, tricks that you want to post them down in the comment section for Sky Arena here. And yeah, definitely my recommendations: Helena, Pegasus, Gable, Centar, Pi, Aqua, Tristan. Those are all really powerful units in Sky Arena. Dracula is a strong unit as well, but you can't heal Dracula in Sky Arena because he's an undead creature. He does have the ability to heal himself, but he does go down after several fights, just based on, you know, taking hits. He's not going to be completely fully healed. So with this kind of setup, with these 5 units, I can actually run the entire Sky Arena without losing a unit a lot of the times. That's pretty impressive right there, because I know a lot of people, they go through and die in Sky Arena, you know, stage 4, stage 3, stage 5, whatever, going through all their units, because you get to use every single unit you have in your possession until you run out to complete as much of the Sky Arena. But these 5 right here are extremely powerful in Sky Arena, and most of the times you can beat the entire 10 matches with just these 5 units. Thanks for watching, guys.